Hey guys, this is Jessica Gutierrez with Clean With Me podcast. This is a podcast where I walk you through cleaning your house step by step. So let's clean together. Hey guys, so I'm super excited because we have a new project that we're working on. It's under construction right now. My mom Ronnie is working on a website. We already have bought the domain name Clean With Me Podcast, and she is working on the construction of the website. It's going to be more of a written word aspect to the podcast. It's going to be recipes, cleaning tips, product suggestions, merchandise, all kinds of stuff. I'm super excited about it. I'm sure y'all are going to love it. And she's working on that. It's going to take a while for it to be up and running because we're going to add a lot of stuff to it. But I just wanted to throw it out there because I'm super hyped up about it. It's going to be awesome. And that way, it's going to have just a lot of tips and tricks for just everyday life. Maybe a little more detailed than the podcasts. And I will reference the podcast in the website a lot. So if I talk about certain kinds of products or something, we will put that into the website and incorporate that. So if those of you are new here, what I do is I walk you through cleaning your house step by step. And if you cannot get to anything or something while I'm talking, do not worry. This is just a guideline. Everybody's house is different. Everybody has to focus on different things. Different things are dirty in different people's houses. Everyone has different layouts, etc. So I'm just a guide. I'm just here to give you ideas and for you to clean along with me as I talk. And if you can get to it, great. If you can't, scroll it down on a piece of paper and get to it a little bit later, as long as you have a plan. But I don't shame anyone here. We do what we can with what we have. We all have different situations, different life circumstances, and we're all just trying to make it and keep our house clean the best we can. So that's what I'm here for. I'm just here to help you along and give you some ideas. So let's get started. First things first, I like to always start with a laundry switch. Those of you that are listeners know that. So let's go ahead and move our clothes from the dryer to the laundry basket if we already have something in there, and from the washer to the dryer. And then let's start a new load. If you're in a rush today or maybe don't have the motivation to do laundry, maybe just do a load of towels. I try to at least do a load a day, but I have a lot of laundry in my house. And then on my days off, I try to do like a major laundry session where I clean all the dirty laundry in my house. But do whatever works for you. The more you keep up with it, the less of a fiasco it is when it comes time to do the laundry. That goes for anything really, but that's not always possible, and I totally get that. So you'll just be doing the laundry switch while I am talking, and so I'm super proud of myself. For those of you that have been following along with my life, just be doing the laundry switch while I talk. I just moved from upstairs to downstairs. I live on a cattle ranch where he rents out these apartments, and downstairs was a better situation. It's set up more like a house. I don't have to worry about stairs. And although it's small, it has a full kitchen, lots of storage space, which the other one did not, lots of cabinet space, a big refrigerator, and a dishwasher. And I have not had a dishwasher in years. And I had one probably about, I want to say 4 years ago, before my kids were born. And I never really used it because it was kind of finicky, and sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. So it was kind of like a drying rack for me. But this one does take a long time to wash stuff, but it works great. So I got to rediscover what it's like to have a working dishwasher, and I just have the kids rinse off their dishes, and I rinse off my dishes as I use them. That way I just have, pre-rinsed dishes in the sink, and then once I get a certain amount, I just load up the dishwasher quickly. It's super easy. But I know all about the no dishwasher life, lived that life for many years. So if you don't have one, I'll talk about that as well, because I definitely know what that's like. So you guys should be done with the laundry switch by now, so let's go ahead and move on to the kitchen. And first thing I like to do is gather all of the dishes from around the house. That way, you're not noticing dishes after you're out of the dish mode, as I like to call it, because that's super annoying to me when I'm completely done with the dishes and then somebody's like, oh, hey, you forgot these 15 cups that were in the bedroom. You know what I mean? So I like to gather all the dishes from around the room and bring them into the kitchen. And then I like to empty the drying rack or dishwasher, depending on if you have one or not, and just put all your dishes away. That way you're making room for you to wash the new dishes. So just be unloading your drying rack or dishwasher and putting all those dishes away, and make sure you're putting them away. And when I say make sure you're doing something, obviously it's like a suggestion, but you don't have to do everything I say. It's just suggestion. So if you can't get to it, that's fine. But try to put them away in an organized manner. That way, you're not having to reorganize cabinets and stuff super often. It's good to do it every once in a blue moon, but we want to try to put things away in the right place. That way, it's not creating more work for us. And then once you're done putting all of your dishes away, I'll give you a couple minutes to do that. But once you're done with that, just start on your pre-rinse. And obviously the goal is to try to have everybody in your household pre-rinse dishes and stuff as they're being used. And then if you're cooking, try to pre-rinse as you go. It's not always possible, and I totally get that. But if you can, try to, because it creates a lot less work for you. And like I said, you could just quickly wash them and throw them in the drying rack or load your dishwasher super quickly. And it really just lightens the load. But if you haven't done that yet, just work on pre-rinsing. If you have pre-rinsed already and you just have dishes in the sink that are from breakfast, or maybe they are, or dinner, or whatever time you're listening to this, or maybe you have a garbage disposal. I actually don't in this house either, so I usually scrape things into the trash can if I haven't pre-rinsed yet. If you do have a garbage disposal, great. Just put the food down the garbage disposal and continue rinsing. As far as cleaning tools for the dishes, I always have a scrub brush with a little round brush bristles at the end with a long stick for bottles and sippy cups and stuff, just because and that's just good to have for hard to reach spots for mugs and thermoses and stuff like that, even if you don't have small children. And then I usually have some kind of sponge. There's the soap dispensing sponges that you can get at Dollar Tree or pretty much anywhere, and they're pretty cheap. And they have the sponge heads that you can change out. Those are my all-time favorite, but I also just recently started using the Sponge Daddy products, and I usually have a Sponge Daddy in my sink, but I typically don't really use that for the dishes. I usually use that to scrub out things that are a little harder to clean, which I'll talk about what I use that for in a little bit. But just be chugging away at those dishes, and I'll continue with my little update on my life. So, like I said, since moving downstairs, it's a better situation. It's small, but it's super cozy, and I did post pictures on my Facebook Clean With Me podcast and my Patreon, if you're interested. And the kids love it. And my 4-year-old and 2-year-old have been in the funniest phases lately. My 2-year-old has been a chatterbox, and she comes up with the funniest stuff. She always says, I don't want this anymore. I don't want that anymore. I don't want that toy anymore. That's like her favorite thing to say is anymore. But her little personality is definitely shining through, and she's becoming her own little person, you know. So 2 years old is definitely a fun phase, and she's all over the place. She's definitely my wild child. And then my 4-year-old has been playing pretend a lot more, and her and her sister play pretend together, and it's really funny just watching them interact and play. And at the ranch that I live at, there's actually a duplex right across the street from me, or I say across the street, but it's in like the same cul-de-sac of the ranch, and my best friend Tristan lives across the street. I believe I mentioned that before, but it's just really fun. She's got 2 kids that are the exact same age as me, so, and she's the one that has her kids go to the same home daycare. It's just her kids and my kids, and we were pregnant at the same time both times, so our kids are the same age, except she's got a girl and a boy, and the youngest is the boy. And they have sleepovers, quote unquote, at her house all the time. And they always say, her daughter, the 4-year-old Malia, always says, are we going to have a friend day with you, Jessica? Are we going to have a friend day? And I'm like, yeah, we can have a friend day. And then they come spend the night over here. It's cute. And if I'm here by myself with the kids, sometimes we'll spend the night. She'll spend the night over here. I have like an extra bed and extra kid beds for her kids. And I'll spend the night at her house sometimes too. So it's really fun having my childhood best friend spent, right across the street. It's been great. Super supportive. It's like I'm living the dream for real. And she has a minivan, so, she'll help me sometimes in the morning if I'm running late. She'll take the kids to daycare for me. So she's amazing. I love her so much. And just be chugging along on those dishes while we talk. If you're having any trouble with something sticking onto a pan, you can put it to boil on the stove top, or just let it soak in some soapy water while you're doing the other things. And fun fact about Tristan, she is just like me in that we both hate the dishes with a passion. So the other day I was over at her house and she just wanted me to talk to her while she cleaned. Sometimes, obviously, I would prefer you listen to the podcast when you're cleaning, but sometimes, if you're not listening to the podcast, of course, it helps just to have someone there to talk to you. And if it's not in person, maybe on the phone, you can put someone in headphones or speakerphone or something and just have them talk to you while you clean. Sometimes that distracts some people, but for some people, like my friend Tristan, it motivates her to clean if she has someone to talk to. Everyone's different, and I 100% understand that. I tend to get sidetracked a little more, so it kind of depends who I'm talking to. Sometimes I stay on track if I'm talking to certain people, and then other people I'll go off on tangents and then not clean as productively. But she was saying the other day that she wanted to do the dishes last because she hated them. And I was like, that's why we do it first. That's why I do it first in the podcast, because we hate them, so we have to get them over with, because if you do the entire house and leave the thing that you hate most of all till the very end, then you're not going to want to do it, because you're going to be tired, and then you're going to be like, oh, well, the house looks good enough, so I'm just going to ignore the sink full of dishes, and then you'll never do them. So that is why we do them first, and other reasons, of course. It's kind of a priority because the food can stink on your dishes, and for a variety of other reasons. But if you really hate a chore, probably try to do that first and just knock it out and get it out of the way. And you'll feel so much better once it's done. It's like a huge weight's lifted off your shoulder. Because a lot of times, especially if we get really down and depressed or just have too much going on, maybe we're just super slammed, and by the time you get home, you're exhausted and you don't really feel like cleaning. If you just staring at your dishes and stressing about it, it's going to be this thing in the back of your head that's going to drive you insane until you do it. So you might as well just knock it out so that you can quit stressing about it and beating yourself up about not doing the dishes, or whatever chore it is that stumps you. Which, speaking of which, while you guys are doing the dishes, I've still been getting up early and trying to beat my kids getting up, and it's still going good. I do have to go to bed earlier, or I really feel crappy in the morning. But like I've said on previous podcasts, it really, really just takes my stress level down a notch because I'm not rushing. I'm not freaking out because I feel like I'm going to be late. I'm not stressed out, yelling at the kids, trying to get out the door on time because I have that cushion time, and you can use that time to do a bonus chore, straighten up your house, and you don't have to do that every single day, just days that it really needs to be straightened. Some days you could just use it to give yourself some self-care, pluck your eyebrows, just, play on your phone for a little bit when you first wake up. Maybe you just want to take a leisurely shower and get ready without having to worry about time. It doesn't always have to be cleaning. You don't always have to be doing something productive, and other people might tell you otherwise, but for me personally, I need to make sure that I'm getting a little bit of time for myself and just to be lazy, and I try to pencil that into my day is just times for me to relax, kick back, and breathe, because if you schedule yourself, book yourself up, and you don't give yourself any time, it's going to overwhelm you to the point where you're just going to end up having a meltdown and not doing anything. Personally, from me personally, my own experience, that's how I work. If I stress myself out and overbook myself, I will just completely end up shutting down and getting nothing done. So I have learned through trial and error to definitely put some time aside for myself, and I have found that early in the morning works good for me. And you might be a night owl. You might not work well in the mornings. Maybe that's not when you want your personal time. Maybe you like sleeping in and having your alone time in the evening once your kids have gone to bed. This is if you have kids, or maybe after work, after a long day at work, you just want to unwind and have some time to yourself. Everybody's different. I completely understand that, but for me personally, it's the mornings, since I do have small children and I don't want to be stressed out trying to get out the door. So you guys should be finishing up with your dishes. If you're not, no judgment here. You can pause me, rewind me, or just listen along and keep working on the dishes. But I'm going to go ahead and talk about some other areas of the kitchen. So let's go ahead and move on. I'm going to move on, but let's first throw away all the trash in the kitchen. So if anything needs to be thrown out, you can do that right now. Check your refrigerator also. See if there's any leftovers or anything that needs to be tossed. Now's a good time to do that. And once you're done throwing away all the trash, another thing you want to do is get anything that does not belong in your kitchen area out of your kitchen area. So, miscellaneous. Right now, I'm about to do my cleaning. I have not done it yet, and I'm looking at my kitchen right now, and I'm seeing a couple things that my kids have put in the kitchen that do not belong there. There's a toy. There's a packet of wipes on my island. There's water bottles. My hand vacuum is on my island, and it should be on the charger and put up. And there's a random pasta sauce on my island because my daughter took it out of the cabinet for no reason. Just miscellaneous stuff like that. And like I said before, try to put that stuff away where it goes. Don't just shove it somewhere or put it on a hot spot. And speaking of hot spots, everybody has that one area that we accumulate junk on, whether that be an island in your kitchen or a kitchen table or a coffee table, or just your countertops. If you have an area like that in your kitchen where stuff is just accumulating. I have a small house, so my kitchen island is right in the center of the whole living kitchen area. So a lot of times that's my kind of catch-all hotspot. So once we've put away all the miscellaneous stuff and trash and gotten that out of the way, the next thing we want to do is go wipe down crazy. And oh, don't forget your appliances as well. Say you have a blender out or a crock pot or something like that that needs to be put underneath the sink or in your cabinets. Go ahead and do that now. Once we've cleared as much surface area as we possibly can, it's time to get wiped down crazy. Now use whatever you prefer, whether that's a wet rag and some spray, or if it is Clorox disinfecting wipes. And when I say Clorox, I use the generic type lemon scented because the normal ones have an awkward scent. That's just my personal preference. But you use whatever works for you, whatever you prefer most, and just start wiping down everything and anything. Don't forget to wipe down your microwave first. Make sure that you wipe down the inside, the ceiling of the top of your microwave, the sides. If you need to take out the little glass circle in the middle and rinse that off in the sink, you can do that. And then wipe down your stovetop. If you need to use a good degreaser for that, I think I want to get a degreaser because I've just been scrubbing my stove off, but it would be a lot easier and it'll take a lot less elbow grease if I had a good degreaser. So when I find one that I really like, I will let you guys know. I also have a lot of stainless steel in my kitchen, which I didn't have before, and I've been noticing a lot of streaking on the stainless steel, so I need to get a specific cleaner for that. That's going to be in my next cleaning haul, because if you use the Clorox disinfecting wipes, they work fine on stainless steel, but sometimes they can be a little streaky, and I know there's certain stuff you can buy for stainless steel, so I'm going to look into that. But just be looking at any surface areas, especially ones that are touched often, like doorknobs for the cabinets, handles on your oven, handles on your refrigerator, the door of your refrigerator. The inside of your refrigerator might need wiping down. I opened my refrigerator just the other day and noticed that the kids had tipped something over in the refrigerator and didn't tell me. I had like these little yogurts for them in the fridge that they were getting by themselves at one point, so they had spilled something in the refrigerator. So, for example, if you have something like that, you can wipe that down quickly. All of your countertops, stove tops, behind your sink faucet, your cabinets might have some food splatters or something on them. If you have everybody has like a crack in between their countertops and their oven, you can get a butter knife, wrap it in a rag or a wipe, and run the butter knife in between that crack to get any food or gunk that's in that cracked area. I always forget, this is just something that I've noticed that I have a problem with, I always forget to throw away my coffee filter with the coffee in it and my coffee and clean my coffee maker, and then I end up having to wash it in the morning the next day when I'm making my next cup of coffee. So I've been consciously cleaning that a little bit more because it's something that I forget. And that's very specific to me, but you guys probably have that one thing that you always forget to do. You probably know what it is. So just try to be thorough and get all the little things like that. But yeah, everyone has their own little things that they need to clean. And after you've wiped everything down, you might have brushed some crumbs onto the floor, and we don't want to track those crumbs. So we're going to do our main floor cleaning at the end of the episode. I'll remind you to do that. But if you just want to spot sweep any crumbs that you threw onto the floor, or dusted onto the floor, get that. That way we're not tracking that throughout the house, especially if you have carpet. Don't forget light switches. Make sure you're disinfecting those. Maybe on top of your refrigerator might be accumulating some stuff. My refrigerator in this house, I don't have a problem with that because it's super high up, so I'm not tempted to put stuff on top of there. But in my old house, I didn't have as large of a refrigerator, so it was definitely a problem, and we were kind of accumulating junk on top of our refrigerator. And then before we close the chapter of the kitchen, segment of the podcast, do not forget to throw away your trash. And something that is super annoying that we probably all collectively hate doing, inside of your trash can, if that is getting funky or smelling or something, you might need to hose that down. Okay, y'all, so let's move on to the outer areas. And the trash can thing is only as needed, of course. We probably only have to do that once in a blue moon, but maybe something leaked out of your trash can or something and it needs to be rinsed out. You can do that in a bathtub or outside with a hose. But let's move on to the outer areas, and for that I like to make sure my windows are open. It just kind of motivates me, lets some light into the room. If the room's real dark, one, you don't see all of the spots and stuff, maybe on your carpet or your couch or what have you, dust. So it's good for that to shine light in your room, and also it just brightens your mood, makes you feel better about yourself. Makes you happier overall if there's some light coming into the room. So that's why I like to do that. And maybe light a candle, plug in your Scentsy or whatever you use that smells good. And then you want to get to the focal points of the room, whether that be your couch or your coffee table if you have one. Okay, guys. And just maybe you have your hot spot isn't in your kitchen, but it's in your living area. Maybe you have a table that collects just random miscellaneous stuff throughout the day that you need to clean off. I like to do the couch first because I like to fix my pillows on my couch, and it just kind of makes it look like I'm doing more. Once I fix the couch up, it makes my living area look nice. So I will, I have a couch right now that's low to the ground, so I don't have a huge problem with stuff going underneath it. I do have, some really tiny stuff that ends up underneath my couch. So maybe you need to just take a broom and sweep, use it as a tool to collect whatever's underneath your couch and kind of sweep that back out. Maybe if you're physically able to, don't hurt yourself. If you're able to move your couch, you can do that and clean underneath it. If not, just grab your broom and kind of use it as a tool to sweep out anything. If your couch cushions, if you have small children and you do eat on your couch, maybe you have more of a decorative living area where you don't really sit on your couch or eat on your couch. I wish I didn't eat on my couch because I'd have less crumbs, but since I don't really have a dining room table set up or room for it, I do eat on my couch a lot. So my routine is using my hand vacuum to vacuum out any crumbs in my couch, and I have a leather couch right now, so wipe that down. I usually just do a quick wipe down with the Clorox wipes of the leather. There's special products you can get for leather couches, but I just use disinfecting wipes for now. That's what I have on hand. And if you don't have a hand vacuum, you can always just brush it off using like a little hand brush with bristles on it, and just brush the crumbs on the floor and use a regular vacuum to vacuum it up. Maybe you can just use the tube of your vacuum cleaner, or just brush them off with a broom. And then maybe you have I have some rugs in my living area, and where I live, it's kind of hard to explain, but it's a apartment that's built into a warehouse. Like the guy has this huge warehouse on his ranch, and then he built 2 apartments inside of the warehouse. So in the warehouse, there's a lot of dust on the ground, and a lot of that gets tracked in my house. So my rugs get dusty, so I have to vacuum my rugs very often. Again, that's very specific to me, but your rugs might, every once in a blue moon, they do need to be deep cleaned. So this is like spring cleaning level. This is not something you do regularly, but once in a while, it's good to take your rugs out and kind of bang them against something, get all the dust out. And if it needs a really deep clean, you can hose it down and let it dry over a fence. Or you could just vacuum it and spot clean it with, I like to use this carpet cleaner that has a brush attached to the head of it, and it's like a foaming carpet cleaner. and I like to have one of those in my car as well. And you just kind of squirt the foam and scrub out the stains. If you have a cloth couch, you can do that on your couch as well. Fix up the cushions. But yeah, great for rugs as well, so you can spot clean your rug. If maybe you have a shag carpeting rug and you can't vacuum it or something. Mine you can, so I usually vacuum it and spot clean it. And of course, pick up any miscellaneous junk that's in your living room and put it away. Living areas. If you have multiple, you can rewind for and re-listen for each living area. Or you can just pause it until you are finished. But we will do a full floor cleaning at the end of the episode, but this is just if you want to quickly vacuum your rugs and do a spot sweep or a spot vacuum or something until the end of the episode. Feel free to do that. Pick up any toys or miscellaneous stuff in the living room. Maybe you have a TV stand and a TV that need to be wiped down. Don't ever spray anything directly on the screen. Maybe your blinds need to be dusted. I like to wet dust so dust isn't flying through the air. So I usually use a wet rag to dust the blinds off, and maybe your window seal or your window need to be dusted or cleaned. That's something I sometimes forget to do, so every once in a while I'd like to do that. Also, your floorboards or your walls might have some scuff marks on it. I like to keep magic erasers on hand because I have little kids that like to draw on things, but also they're great for scuff marks, hard to get to stains on the wall or your baseboards, those are great for that. So I love just having those on hand because they really do come in handy. And then just a quick reminder, if you have any pets, pet chores that you need to do, like fish, maybe you need to feed your fish, maybe you need to feed your dog or cat, maybe you need to clean out your litter box, or just do some kind of cleaning involving your dog, maybe, or cat or pet. Maybe you need to clean out their bedding in their cage or something like that, or clean the lining of their bed and put it in the washer. Just a thought, because when I'm doing my outer areas, I like to do my pet chores as well. And you guys have been cleaning for about 30 minutes now. I'm super proud of you guys. We are knocking this out. Nobody likes, I like to clean in the way of it's really motivating just to see your house getting clean and the feeling of being productive. But nobody is jumping for joy having to clean up, but it is satisfying, however, seeing the progress and getting stuff done. So I'm sure you guys feel really good about how much you've done already. I'm sure your house is looking way better than it did before. So good job for you guys doing that. I'm super proud of y'all. I am talking about everything and doing an episode is really motivating me to do a lot of things in my house that I haven't done this week. I've been busy, really, really busy this week, so I am so excited to get a lot of my cleaning done today. Something that I did do this week is organize my closet, because when I moved, even in the short time from me moving to now, it got super just out of control, so I recently cleaned that, and I'll talk more about that in a second. But I just wanted to take a moment to say that you guys are doing great. We're almost done, so let's keep the motivation, keep the same energy, and let's move on to the bathroom. So first things first, when I get into my bathroom, the first thing I want to do is pick up. So like with any room, just get anything that doesn't belong out of the bathroom and put things that do belong in the bathroom where they go in the correct drawers, and make sure we're putting stuff in the right places. That way we're not cleaning up a huge mess after. If you have some dirty laundry in your bathroom that needs to go to your laundry area to be cleaned, go ahead and do that now. Empty your laundry baskets and move them to the laundry area. My washer and dryer are located inside the warehouse that my house is built inside. And I share it with one other person, the one that lives upstairs. And so I usually take my laundry baskets, move them over by the washer, and then I finish all my laundry. So once you've moved those out of the way, then just same thing as with the kitchen, we want to create as much surface area as possible, clear any clutter, that way we can go wipe down crazy. So clear everything off of your countertop if you're going to be spraying a chemical. If you're just going to be using disinfecting wipes, that's great. It's great to use disinfecting wipes in the bathroom, but it is good to spray some cleaner every once in a while. That way you're getting a deeper clean. And once we've cleared everything off, grab some glass cleaner and let's do and some paper towels, and let's wash the mirrors first. So let's go ahead and spray down any mirrors that you have in the bathroom, and let's clean those off. And then once you're done with the mirrors and done picking up any miscellaneous, let's just wipe down any surface area. Make sure you're getting your doorknobs and the light switches, because we're touching that a lot. Behind the sink, the faucet, the sink, the countertops, cabinets, especially if you have teenagers or young kids living in the house, you might have like toothpaste splatters or something on the cabinets. I've talked about this many times before, but if you are having trouble keeping your drawers and stuff organized in the bathroom, maybe you should get little tiny bins for each member of the family that shares that bathroom, and that way their little items, toiletries, feminine products, what have you, can be put in their individual boxes. Because I have teenage girls and stepdaughters, and they stay with me every other weekend, and a lot of times they leave earrings, face washes, stuff that they don't want lost, but they forgot at the house. So I put them in their bins that are theirs, and they know that it's going to be there when they get back. So that's something that I like to do. Maybe that might work for you, making getting ready easier in the morning, because every kid has their own little products that they use, and that way they're not fighting over whose is whose and stuff like that, or just not being able to find their products in the morning. So once you're done wiping down your countertops and such, let's go ahead and move over to the toilet. First, you want to take some toilet cleaner, and I like to squirt the squirtable bleach toilet cleaner in the toilet first. That way it'll sit there and kind of permeate the toilet bowl. And then while that's cleaning, while that's soaking, I like to wipe down my toilet, and I do like the Clorox wipes for this because they're disposable. You can use whatever you prefer to use, but I like to put some gloves on. That way I can get a little bit more into the cleaning without being scared I'm going to get my hands dirty. So I put some gloves on, and then I clean the surface areas that you touch first of all, like the actual toilet seat and the handle. And then I work my way to the rest of the toilet by, making sure I get all the little nooks and crannies, including the back of the toilet, the floor around the toilet, all the little grooves and crevices. And then a lot of the toilet seats the back snaps off, so you can get that hard to reach area behind the back of your toilet seat, because sometimes it's hard to get all around the little joints and stuff, so you can just snap it off and wipe that down. And then once you're done doing your thorough wipe down of the toilet, you can get your toilet cleaning brush and just scrub the inside. If you really need to deep clean that inside of the toilet, you can use a pumice stone. They do sell pumice stones on a stick, so you don't have to stick your hand in the toilet if you don't want to do that. Whatever one you prefer, and you can just really scrub that inside of the toilet if you're having trouble getting it clean. And, the worse it is, if you keep up with it regularly like anything else, it'll be easier to clean up. But if you haven't done it in a long time, maybe you need to leave the bleach in a little bit longer. But once you're done with that, flush the toilet, and let's move on to the bathtub. Now, I have said this before, but the best way to maintain your shower is to keep a sponge with some cleaner close by I like to keep the soap dispensing sponge in the shower with some shower cleaner inside of it, and then once I'm done taking my shower every couple days I do this, I will do a once over scrub while I'm in the shower, because I don't have to worry about getting my clothes dirty or anything. I'm naked in the shower, TMI, but and then I say TMI, like not all of us are naked in the shower, I assume, but you just scrub the inside of your shower or bathtub, what have you, when you're done. That way you're keeping up with it. It's just really quick and easy, and then once you do your deep cleaning at the end of the week, it's not a huge fiasco. So I do that. My mom used to do that when I was younger, and she taught me to do that, so I do that now, and it's a great way to keep up with your shower. But we're going to go ahead and bleach the shower today, or bathtub. I say shower because I only have a shower at this new house. It's like a big shower with a seat, so but I don't actually have a bathtub. So if you have both, my mom has both. She has a garden tub and a shower. You can obviously wash both of those. One of the houses that we just cleaned, there was like mold in the shower, so we had to get some special cleaner for that. Someone suggested the pink stuff to clean really bad showers. We don't want to mix products together, of course. So my usual go-to is bleach, so you can use Ajax, sprinkle that in the tub. If you really want to get that porcelain white and it's really badly stained, and you have extra Clorox bleach toilet bowl cleaner, that really, really, really gets your tub white. It's more expensive though, but if you really need to get it clean and it's really bad, you can scrub that on your tub. If you just need a once over, you can just get your shower or tub damp and then sprinkle Ajax in it, let it sit for a little bit. Make sure you have the fan on and a window open if you're doing this, so you're not inhaling a bunch of chemicals. And then once it's sat for a few minutes, go ahead and scrub it down with a sponge. Sponge daddies are great to have in the shower for this. You can put gloves on so you're not getting a bunch of bleach on your hands, and then scrub the shower and then give it a rinse. Toilet bowl cleaner is also great for squirting it in your grout if you have really stained grout. And you can use a toothbrush to kind of scrub the grout clean after you let the bleach sit. You can use a toothbrush for the grout inside your bathtub. The seam from your bathtub to the floor might be dirty. You can use a scrub brush or a toothbrush for that. Your floorboards might need to be cleaned. You can try to use a wipe or a rag for that, but if you can't get it clean, try the magic eraser for that. Same thing goes for the walls. You can either wipe it down if it's easy to wipe down, or you can use the magic eraser. And don't forget to change out your trash in the bathroom. Maybe that needs to go out. I do change my bathroom trash often. And then replace the liner, of course. And same thing with the bathroom trash. If it is funky and you need to rinse it out in the bathtub or outside, make sure you do that. Every once in a blue moon. It might get dirty, you might have something leak inside of it, or maybe it just stinks or something. But if you have multiple bathrooms in your house, you can either delegate to a kid to do the other bathrooms, or another adult that lives in your household, or you can pause or rewind and do the other bathrooms. But we're going to go ahead and move on to the bedrooms at this time. So same thing with the bedrooms. When we walk in, I want you guys to, if you need to do your bedding, if you haven't done your bedding this week, strip your bed of your sheets and your pillowcases, which I just got new sheets and I totally love them. They are pretend satin sheets. They look like satin, but they're actually polyester. But I got some turquoise like satin sheets, and I love them. They were super cheap. I got them from Amazon, but they look so classy, and they match my bedspread, and they feel so good. And it's anti-aging. It's good for anti-aging and wrinkles in your hair to sleep on a satin pillowcase, of course. So I got it for that, and it's also good for acne, I think. It has a lot of benefits using a satin pillowcase. So I got that, and it just feels cool and nice. So I was really hyped up about that. So I try not to wash those with anything else, but I usually wash them by themselves. But anyway, strip your bed of those, of your sheets and pillowcases, and then put that in the laundry area and make that a priority, because of course you want those cleaned before bedtime if you don't have extra set. And your comforter doesn't need to be cleaned quite as often, especially if you have a top sheet, but especially with me, because I have kids, it gets dirty a little bit more often probably than other people that don't. So I do have to wash my comforter probably more often than other people, but you can put that in the laundry area as well if you need to wash that. And then same thing with any dirty laundry that's in the room. And then I wanted to talk a little bit more about how I organize my closet. I'll go more in depth with that on a 20-minute episode, deep cleaning episode. But so I totally took everything out of my closet, and I don't like to overwhelm myself, so I took one shelf at a time, put it on my bed, and went through everything, got rid of stuff I didn't need, kept the stuff I did, and then folded it nicer because it was starting to look really funky, and put it aside, put the stuff on the shelf, back on the shelf, and then went to the next shelf, took everything off the shelf, repeated that until the entire closet was clean. Then did the same thing with the floor of the closet, took everything out after I was done with the shelves, went through it, organized it, had a keep, throwing away, donating pile, and I had a plastic bag for the donation and for the trash, and the keeping pile I folded everything and put it away. So I got rid of a bunch of stuff because I didn't have space for it, and then I refolded all of the extra blankets and stuff that were in my closet and put it back so it looks super nice. And I was putting that off for a while, but it is so much better and less stressful when I'm looking for stuff in my closet now that it's organized. And I don't know why I was putting it off for so long. It really only took me 30 minutes to organize. A lot of times we build up these projects in our head to be some huge project that's going to take forever. But once you actually do it, and stop stressing about it in your head about how hard it's going to be, you knock it out really quickly, in my experience. Like, I was putting off cleaning that closet for a while, for like 2 weeks, and then once I did it, it really did not take long at all. So, but I will go ahead and end the session for the bedroom and remind you guys to do all of the floors in the house, do a thorough sweep and mop of the entire house if you have tile floors like I do, or wood floors, and vacuum if you have carpet. And then once you're done with that, don't forget to do the laundry switch and kick up your feet and think of it more as a break than a chore, and fold those clothes while you catch up on your favorite show or whatever it may be. And if you have the time and the energy for more loads of laundry, then go for it. Or if you feel like you can do a bonus chore, you can listen to one of my shorter episodes and get a bonus chore in there. But I want to thank you guys all for listening. You guys did amazing. You got so much done today, and I'm so proud of you guys. I'm glad to be back. And as always, happy cleaning.